Imagine bacteria that breathe rust. Yes, that's right, ordinary iron. And in doing so, they clean the ocean, prevent dead zones, and could even help restore ecosystems suffering from climate change. This isn't science fiction. This is the result of research published by scientists from the University of Vienna on November 9th, 2025. Deep in the ocean and in marshy soils, there exists a group of microbes about which we knew almost nothing. And now, scientists have discovered microorganisms that oxidize toxic sulfide using iron as their means of respiration. In other words, they literally get energy from rusty iron and turn dangerous sulfide into harmless sulfate. What was previously thought to be just a chemical reaction turned out to be a biological process. And notably, it happens much faster than it would without the bacteria. Scientists have named this process MIS-O, microbial iron sulfur oxidation, a fight against dead zones. Toxic sulfides kill marine life and create oxygen-free zones. MI's bacteria turn this toxin into a harmless substance. The ecosystem gets a chance to recover. They support the global sulfur and iron cycles. Up to 7% of all sulfur oxidation on Earth may occur thanks to these microbes. This changes the model scientists use to understand the climate and ocean ecology. Possible future applications: ocean cleanup, restoration of coastal ecosystems, biotechnologies to combat pollution, living filters for toxic environments, new solutions for climate bioengineering. These bacteria are like tiny ecosystem engineers doing tremendous work underwater. The professions behind this discovery: a microbiologist studies microorganisms, their behavior, metabolism, and their impact on the world. Perfect for those who love laboratories, experiments, and living systems. Faculties: microbiology, molecular biology, biotechnology. A biogeochemist studies the cycles of substances on Earth: carbon, sulfur, iron. It is these specialists who explain how microbes affect the climate. Faculties: geochemistry, ecology, earth science, geosciences. An oceanographer studies the oceans, their chemical composition, biology, bottom sediments, and oxygen regimes. They often work on expeditions, on ships, and at coastal stations. Faculties: oceanology, marine biology, ecology of marine systems. An environmental researcher or environmental forecaster studies the impact of human activity on ecosystems and models climate change. Faculties: ecology, environmental management, climate sciences. An environmental engineer or ecosystem biotechnologist develops technologies that help nature recover. It is they who will be able to use these bacteria in applied projects. Faculties: biotechnology, environmental engineering, bioengineering. A geomicrobiologist is a profession at the intersection of geology and biology, a specialist who studies how microbes interact with minerals, as described in this article. Faculties: geobiology, geochemistry, molecular ecology. Why is it important for teenagers and their parents to know this? Because the world is changing and the future belongs to professions at the intersection of sciences. A microbe that breathes iron is not just a scientific novelty, it's an example of how 21st century science works. This is where biology meets chemistry, physics, geology, and ecology. And such specialists will be needed more and more. Those who understand nature deeply and can tackle large interdisciplinary challenges. This discovery by scientists at the University of Vienna is a reminder. Sometimes the smallest forms of life solve the biggest problems. And today's school children, yes, they are the ones who will create the technologies to save the Earth tomorrow.